My two favorite topics all rolled into one: great beer and liberal whack job environmentalists. From the Washington Times and the Statesman, Valerie Richardson, thanks for being here.
Thank you.
All right. I like beer. I mean, I really like beer. And it's great that Colorado has all these terrific craft breweries, but they're all come out of well, liberals who put these together. A bunch of hippies said, we want a great beer, this other stuff. And that's terrific. They do this. Now they're getting involved in politics, including Colorado's own New Belgium Brewery, who gave money to New Earth Guardians. And somehow people are really pissed off and boycotting. Give me the background on this, because this is too good.
Well, it started because Wild Earth Guardians had sued. Basically, they sued the Interior Department, saying that when you approved an expansion for the Colowyo mine, which is this coal mine in Craig that is the backbone of Moffat County and supports a lot of Rio Blanco County, just a huge economic driver there. They said you didn't do the right thing when you approved the permit. You didn't do enough of environmental review.
And what is Wild Earth Guardians?
This is an environmental group that is known for being very litigious. They actually sued.
What? A litigious environmental group? This is what environmental groups do. They sue and they make building and development and all sorts of things so impossible by legal hurdles. And that's why the process of getting anything done has gone through the roofs in the last few decades. And so this is one of those groups like
Center for Biological Diversity is another big one. Yeah, Wild Earth Guardians sued actually 7 mines at the same time, saying that the Interior Department failed to conduct a proper review of an expansion permit that it gave to these 7 mines. Well, Colowyo, basically, this was a permit that was approved in 2007. I mean, the expansion has gone through, and they need to now go back and redo an enormous part of their environmental review and making sure that there's enough public public input, that kind of thing.
That's right, because that's what we need, more public input. When you say Colowyo, it's Colorado/Wyoming.
Right.
Is that because it took me a while to understand the term.
Right.
And this is the big coal mine that helps power a lot of Colorado. It goes through, it goes down to Comanche, and this is a big thing. So in that northwestern part of the state, this is a key part of their economy.
Right. It's a big deal. And I went to a public hearing that was held by Tri-State. Tri-State owns the Colowyo mine along with the Trapper mine, and they get like 50% of their coal from each one. And if Colowyo has to shut down in about 120 days because the Interior Department is unable to complete its review in time, which is probably going to be the case because this is a very lengthy process, then they're going to have to shut down. That takes 220 jobs. And you had 900 people last week turn out at a public meeting at the high school, packed the place, and said, what can we do to save this mine?
All right. That's all wonderful. I'm sure that's interesting, but I want to talk about beer. Now, where does beer come into closing down this mine?
Well, one of the things that they're doing in Craig is they apparently got onto the Wild Earth Guardians website and they looked at their list of contributors and they found that 6 Colorado breweries, including New Belgium, which is the big one, support Wild Earth Guardians. They've given money to them in the past. And so Lori Gillum at Stockman's Liquor started the whole thing in Craig by pulling from her shelves all of the beers that are made by these 6 breweries, including New Belgium.
So if you're in Craig, Colorado, you go to the liquor store, you want to buy New Belgium, it ain't there anymore because they're trying to close down the mine.
You're going to have to buy Miller. So.
Right. What I love about this is that the left is really good at kind of triangulating on companies and, quote, shaming them out of politics. It's happened a lot with the American Legislative Exchange Council, ALEC. They get money from different corporations. The same thing as the more liberal version of that, the Colorado, what is it, the NCSL, National State Legislative Council. And that's kind of more of a liberal group, but they both service state legislators, but the left targeted ALEC and started going after the companies that donated, actually to both, but to this one. And this time, it's a brewery that is giving to an anti-energy company that wants to close down mines.
All right, and so because these breweries are in Colorado, because they're right here, I think that's what got people sort of started. And so I guess her, Lori Gillum, who runs the liquor store, her her protest has spread to bars in town. It's spread to other stores. There are all these people in Moffat and Rio Blanco counties that are either not buying the beers or they're pulling the beers from their shelves if they're store owners or bar owners.
Well, it's more than just in those counties. It's spreading around Colorado for people who want to be able to have affordable energy and don't think that a beer should do. There used to be a day when beer was for the working man, and now beer is working against the working man. Not only the working man in Moffat County, but also the working man who pays their electric bills.
Well,
what a turnaround.
Well, I'll tell you that I'm sorry, not Wilder Gardens, but New Belgium says that basically what they have done is they said we gave money to them because they were working on cleaning up river watersheds. It was a river project. That's specifically what our money went for, and it didn't go for this mine lawsuit. And so that's what they have said in response. And I know that the liquor store owner told me that she was going to be meeting with New Belgium representatives either yesterday or today. So
we're so sorry, we didn't mean it. We didn't. But you're still giving to a group that is using lawsuits to put people out of business.
And money is fungible. I mean, you give money to them for a river project that maybe frees up more money for them to work on, suing coal mines, that kind of thing. So
I get a sense that this is starting. This has the perfect makings of a national story, because it's so opposite of what you think. These beer companies, and they're cool, hippy dippy kind of wonderful places with great product. Let me make really clear: New Belgium puts out terrific beer. But it's the Ben and Jerry's effect. Well, we're going to give to good causes. Well, good causes, that depends on your point of view. These are political causes, and now that you're big enough, your customers are going to be people who work in those mines and who turn on their light bulbs powered by coal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think a lot of companies that give to groups like this are maybe starting to feel pressure either on the right or the left. You definitely see people sort of trying to find out who's behind this particular nonprofit, who actually gives money to it, where is their funding coming from, and I think that's something you see on both sides.
Well, it's also a little different. There might be groups like Nature Conservancy, which their main job is to buy land and to conserve it. So that's what they do, and they don't sometimes, but they usually don't get involved in the nasty politics of this. Most environmental groups get right down into the dirt and try to push through politics. And so you have companies that support them. That's their right to do so, but it's also my right to say, you know what, I can do without a fat tire right now. I'll go have a Blue Moon instead, something like that.
That is what they are doing in Northwest, and it sounds like elsewhere in Colorado. So.
Watch out, I could see this spreading across the country. We'll see what happens. We'll check in later. Hey, you went to something pretty wonderful because you're Caucasian. You got a discounted meal at White Appreciation Day.
Right.
Well, this is a great story. I'm sorry, I want to just take a couple minutes and dive into this one. Happy White Appreciation Day. What does that mean?
White Appreciation Day is something that Edgar Antillon and Miguel Jimenez, who own the Rubbin' Butts Barbecue in Milliken, they have decided to put on White Appreciation Day.
First of all, where the hell is Milliken? I've lived here all my life. I don't think I've ever been to Milliken.
It's next to Johnstown, off the I-25.
Okay.
It's about 7 miles off the I-25 where Johnstown is.
Big metropolis.
It's 6,800 people.
6,800 people.
Yes, very small town. Edgar Antillon, who's a longtime Denverite, bought the restaurant there with his friend Miguel Jimenez, and the two of them decided. I think they were sitting around one day joking at the restaurant about how there's Black History Month, there's Hispanic Heritage Month, but there's no White Appreciation Month. Maybe we should do something. And this thing that was really a joke ended up turning into an actual event. They held it on Thursday.
And what I love about the Rubbing Butts, is it barbecue?
Rubbin' Butts Barbecue.
Yes. They actually have their logo or a couple of pigs who are rubbing their butts.
That is true.
They're bouncing. All right. And they decided to do this for a lark, but it actually turned out that people took it very offensively. Go figure.
Right.
They had bomb threats.
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
And death threats. They actually had to evacuate.
Death threats.
Yeah. Last month they had to evacuate their restaurant at one point because of a bomb threat. And today, or on Thursday, before they opened, the police came in with a bomb-sniffing dog just to make sure that everything was okay before they opened the restaurant. But they had a big crowd. I mean, Edgar Antillon said he wasn't sure if it was going to be big or people were just going to forget about it. But they actually, could barely keep up with the crowd. He was running around and trying to, serve people. He had a huge staff on hand for that restaurant. It's got 12 tables. He had a staff of 8 doing it. And his point is that the point he's trying to make is that, you know, we're not just little discrete groups. We're all Americans, and we should look at ourselves that way. Is what he says.
I might be wrong on my genealogy here, but it's Jimenez and
Antillon.
These don't seem like real Caucasian names. So these are Hispanic guys, right?
Right. Edgar Antillon's parents were born in Mexico, and Miguel Jimenez was actually born in Mexico himself.
So two Mexican guys put up a barbecue shop, and they decide to pay tribute and honor white people.
That is what they did. So yeah.
I'm just trying to imagine if white guys did this, it'd be trouble. But this. How did it go? You were there.
Yeah, they had a packed house. There were a lot of people who were very supportive.
There were protesters?
There were no protesters. They had a lot of police presence just in case, but there were no protesters. And they seemed to be doing great business. They had, I would say, a crowd that was mainly white, but quite a few Hispanics as well. So,
do they have any plans to do a Hispanic Appreciation Day or my people? What about the Italians?
Well, they did mention them.
Milliken is a big Italian destination point.
Well, one thing that drew out the customers is that everybody got 10% off. Originally, I think they thought that only white people would get 10% off, and that was out there, and he got a lot of criticism over that, but he said, no, my point was that everybody gets 10% off in celebration of White Appreciation Day. So
no riots, no race riots?
Not that I noticed, no.
What a shame, because I think race riots in Milliken would be worthwhile. Hey, let me wrap up on the mine. The lawsuit is still pending.
Right.
And
well, a judge ruled in Wild Earth Guardian's favor. That's why Interior has to redo the permit. And they're trying to redo it right now, get it done in 120 days, but if it's not done in 120 days, it's going to close. Now, Tri-State has filed an appeal saying, give us more than 120 days. And if they get that, then the mine can stay open. If they don't get that, then it looks like the mine will close.
Did the mine do anything wrong in this process, or was it?
It was Interior's Office of Surface Mining that apparently didn't follow all the procedures that they needed to follow in terms of giving them the expansion permit back in 2007. This is a long ago process, and
so in other words, the mine's doing its business. The government bureaucracy does what it's supposed to do, but doesn't cross all its T's. Some anti-coal group says there's an opportunity, sues, and now in a few months this all could be done.
Unless the same judge who ruled in Wild Earth Guardian's favor says that the mine can have an extension. So
I think I'll be drinking some Coors now. Thank you so much. Thank you. Hey, listen for me on KHOW Radio. Tell a friend about the Independence Institute. That's independenceinstitute.org. And we'll see you next week.